Okay. Can you guys see or hear me? Is that okay? Yes? Okay. Great. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Good stuff, good stuff. Want to be sure that you guys can. So again, I'm just kind of tweaking a bit of settings here, so it's easier for you to kind of see what's going on. No, for some of you is like a first time thing, so it's all good. Cool, cool. Okay. All right, that's okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. And this, I need to bring this up. All right. Okay, so it's 1 o'clock, a little bit past 1 o'clock. So we'll uh, we'll go ahead and get started here. Okay. All right. Let me make one more tweak here. See if we can get that. There we go. There we go. That's what I was after. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and okay, got it. Okay, let's get started today. Welcome back to the very first day of this late semester. All right. So, you should be here for Math 101, quantitative literacy. Um, this is what we're doing for the remainder of the semester. Is Math 101 quantitative literacy. And this class here, obviously being online, will be done very differently than maybe other classes, but at least we'll be able to ease in without too much trouble. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I'm glad you found your way over here. Okay. Again, if you want to know when we're online, or when I actually go online here for say our class or any other classes for that matter, you can hit that follow button there, which is that little heart icon, and you can go ahead and follow me there, and it'll give you a little push notification about when I'm online. Um, so again, if you want to kind of keep track, just hit that follow button there, and that will give you the notification about when I will be up. Okay, so it's not too hard. Those of you using Twitch for the first time there. Twitch does have some ads, so you know, Twitch has some ads, but it So, in my opinion, Twitch has some ads, but it's better than Zoom. The reason why I use Twitch is because you can remain more anonymous, um, and you can ask me questions with confidence. So, if you have questions at any time, you can feel free to go ahead and ask me those questions, and you should be okay. Um, let's talk about replays. So, all lectures will be replayed. We'll have replays available after the initial lecture. Okay, up to 14 days on Twitch, and will be posted after 24 hours on YouTube. So this is as per Twitch guidelines. Okay. So that's basically if you somehow so let's say life happens or whatever, then at the very least, the replay of the stream can be posted on here on Twitch, or can be posted on will be posted 24 hours after the initial stream goes is done, and that'll be posted on my YouTube channel. So it'll be available for you in a little bit of a permanent archive on YouTube should you want to go back and rewatch that stuff again. Okay, so just letting you know what the things are there. Um, all right. Are there any questions so far? Again, if I ask you if there are any questions, just type no in the chat for me to move on. Or if you do have a question, just type that out in the chat as well. Okay. That'll just allow me to move on as necessary. I'll be asking that quite often. One thing I do understand is that there's a little bit of a lag. All right, maybe like a few seconds of lag. So if it looks like I'm staying still for a little bit, it's because I understand that there's a little bit of lag between you typing in your answers and me answering your question. So, don't worry, that's perfectly normal here since we're in an online environment. Okay, so hopefully that isn't going to be too bad. It's just, again, pretty straightforward. All right, so what we're going to do now is go over the syllabus, and you can find this syllabus here on the Blackboard page. All right, so the Blackboard page is up. All right, so you can find this underneath syllabus and schedule. So we're going to just cover this and cover the entirety of the course and what's going to be entailed within it. All right, so first and foremost here, this course is for 4 hours, 4 lecture hours, or again, a 4 credit hour course. All right, we're meeting from the 21st to the 18th. Okay, we'll talk about more about that here. Meeting times, we're going to meet here from 1 to 3:45. Um, we may or may not go the full time. It just depends. Uh, some days we may go the full time just because the material is pretty heavy. Sometimes we won't. It just depends on how what the pace of the course is going to be at that moment in time or where we're at. Uh, we're going to meet Mondays and Wednesdays. We meet here on the Twitch channel. Okay, every Monday and Wednesday at that same exact time. All right. Online expectations are going to be with using online homework-based assignments using my math lab. Now, maybe some of you haven't used my math lab, and that's okay. I'm going to expand upon that later on. All right, and we'll talk about exactly what that entails for the online homework assignments and tests and whatnot. So we'll talk about that in more detail. The drop with the refund here, the last day to drop with the refund is going to be September 28th. That's for a max refund, or last day to withdraw will be November 30th. All right, should you need to do so. I hope you don't, but I understand life happens, so I know it is what it is. All right, well, that's me. My name is Ali Malik. It's pretty easy. Uh, you just address me as Ali. You know, some people call me Professor, but I'm like, you just call me Ali. It's all good. Um, Here's my email address at amalik@harpercollege.edu, so you can contact me there. That's perfectly fine. Or again, you can contact me via my phone number. That phone number, it goes directly to my cell number. Okay, so should an emergency arise for whatever reason, life happens, or something crazy goes on that's going to interfere with your work or something like that, you can, or emergency something, then, feel free to text me and I'll be happy to respond back to you. But typically, I would like you to contact me via email. All right, that'll be significantly easier for you to, again, just be able to uh, ask questions and whatnot. So if you have like personal questions outside of the ones we have in class, like, hey, I don't get this homework problem, hey, feel free to email me. I'll be happy to answer you back. Office hours are like after class or by appointment. Again, we're all kind of in it together here with online stuff. So yeah, just ask, and I try for like emails, for example. I try to respond to those within 24 hours. So there's also the discussion board, which I'll talk about here on Blackboard. Excuse me, which I'll talk about here later as well. I'll show that off here. But first, we gotta talk about the course. So that's fine. All right. Or email stuff. All right. So prerequisites, course descriptions. Yeah, you can read that stuff. It's pretty great. We're going to talk about, say, logic and a little bit of algebra and a little bit of stats, and a little bit of practical math and that stuff like that. All right, so we'll get into a lot of that stuff that you can practically use on a, in the real world, um, you know, in the real world sort of deal. All right, but let's talk about a couple things here in regards to the book. I got a few questions regarding the book and, of course, my math lab. Well, we first need to acknowledge here the book. All right, so this is the book here. Okay, this is the one that they give me because I'm the instructor dude. So here's the book. All right, it looks like this. All right, it has a big cow on the front. It's looking at me. All right, so anyway, uh, the thing is about the book is you don't have to get a physical copy of the textbook. My math lab will come with a e-text. Okay, so of the textbook. So once you register for the course, you'll have a immediate copy to the electronic textbook there that'll be available for you. Okay, so there's no reason for you to get a physical copy unless you want to, and that's your option. Okay, so if you like, say, I like flipping through the pages or whatever because I'm comfortable with that, I'm used to that, okay, that's not a big deal. That's your prerogative. But I'm not requiring you to go get the textbook here for this course. You could just leave it at that, and that's perfectly fine. When you sign up for the course there, by the way, you will automatically have access to the 7th edition for this textbooks. I've linked up the book and the course there respectively already for you. Calculator, yeah, calculator. If you have a graphing calculator from way back when, or heck, yeah, a graphing calculator is actually fairly helpful for some of the algebra we'll do in this course. So yeah, TID 384 will be rather helpful there. As I mentioned here earlier, we'll talk about my math lab here a little bit in a little bit, but that's basically how that's going to go. All right, let's talk about homework here and exams. So exactly how is this going to go? Homework here will be worth 280 points, and exams will be worth 400 points, giving us a grand total of 680 points. Now, I do want to point out one thing that you don't see there. What you don't see there is you do not see a final exam. And you would be correct. There is no final exam for this course. It is just going to be revolving around homework and the exams, and that's it. So once we're done with the last exam, that's it. That would be the end of the course right after that, which should be near the end of the course overall. So we're going to take our time, of course. We're going to go through it, but it's like it's a little bit more chill than maybe what you're used to. It's not like you have to, go super hard. It's just a matter of just getting your stuff done. That's it. I take this approach here just because again we're meeting late and it's less pressure on you at the end of the day. So I think that's cool. Are there any questions about that? Oops, that should say my math lab. I don't know why I put my open. No. All right. Okay. Let's keep going here. All right. So here's how this is going to work. Homework is going to be posted on my math lab. Each homework assignment will be worth 10 points each, and we will do the day of the corresponding test. So basically what that means is that if the first exam is like if the first exam covers like chapters 1 and 3, like 1.1 and all of chapter 3, So 1.1 and all of Chapter 3 will be due the day that I post the test for those particular sections. And just to give you, I guess, give you as much fairness as possible, I'll always announce the test a week ahead of time. So that way it gives you a fair enough warning to work on said test. So you have a chance to go ahead and give that a try. So I'm pretty lenient with the testing stuff, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'll also be posting like a practice test stuff as well, so you can have like give it a try here with my math lab, especially with like formatting of answers and what questions will look like. I'll be posting that as well. So I'll have like a practice test, and then we'll have the real test. I'll be posting those at the same time, so you can practice first, and then do the real test afterwards. So um, that's totally up to you on how you want to do that. Yeah, there's like some homework assignments. Each one's worth 10 points, and there's a total of 280 points overall for homework stuff. So that's pretty much how that's going to go. We have 4 exams in class. There's 4 units, if you want to kind of call it that. Each is worth 100 points. Each will cover some amount of sections. And you're going to have 2 attempts per exam, and the best score is going to be taken. So again, lenient on that stuff there. I think that's fine. You should probably have 2 attempts, and let's say you just mess up for whatever reason. Hey, okay, and no harm, no foul. You can try again and get a better score the second go round. So that isn't too bad. Should be pretty straightforward. Okay, let's go over. Let me go here. All right, so online class structure. This I mentioned here: 1 to 3:45 Mondays and Wednesdays. All right. You can follow the stream here, ask questions during the chat at any time. So if you're confused about something, I prefer everybody to be on the same page. Okay, everybody should be on the same. I'll try to get as many people here on the same page as possible. So if you ask questions in the middle while I'm trying to explain something, hey, that's fine. I want to be sure that you would be able to understand here. Remember, this course isn't for me. This course is for you. Okay, so it's not for me to keep. I know that I'm just like, yeah, just here's stuff to learn. No, if I want you to understand it as best as possible, you all want to get through this course. For some of you, this course may be the last math course that you ever take, depending on your major. Even if that's the case, we'll use this course as a stepping stone to get you to the next level. To get you, kind of get you to where you need to be. Regardless of that fact, that's what I'm here to do: facilitate the information and hopefully get you going and pass this course, with flying colors. That's what we're here to do. As I mentioned here, the live stream will be posted up to 14 days here on Twitch, after which time it will delete itself, and then I will put this up on my YouTube channel after 24 hours as per Twitch guidelines. Let's go ahead and talk about here. Let's talk about attendance. Are you required to attend class? Well, let's answer this question here. Let's answer this question here for you guys. Oh, here we go. We got a freeze there. That's nice. Need to get rid of this. Bye. Go away. All right. So let me ask you all a question here. Sorry, there'll be a few freezes there. Apologies about that. So let's answer a question here. Do you consider yourself an adult? Yes or no in the chat. Do you consider yourself an adult? Sometimes. Casey, I don't want to send you to your room sometimes. I have no desire to do that. Well, if you consider yourself an adult, this is how it's going to work, all right? All of you are responsible for yourself. You're all adults to me. We are on the same level here as far as I'm concerned. Let me put it this way, okay? I know everybody talks about like a teacher-student relationship, and the teachers up here and students down here. I don't really care about that whatsoever. I only care about that you and I are both right here in the middle. I will definitely meet you in the middle because we're both adults. I'll treat you like an adult, I'll speak to you like an adult, and I'll respect you like adults. That's how I do here in this class. All right? And that's how I will treat you. If you decide to treat me or others with disrespect, well then you get what's coming to you. You follow the golden rule. You treat others the way you want to be treated. You want to talk to me on the level, I'm here to talk to you on the level. I don't got a problem with that. We're all cool here. We're all chill. All right? As long as you understand, like, hey, you got to be responsible for yourself and do what you got to do. See, you got to understand one thing from where I'm sitting. I can tell you what the information is, but I can't make you do it. It's again like the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. At the end of the day, if you want to pass this class, you have to go ahead and help yourself. Because no matter what, if you don't want to help yourself, nobody else can help you. All right? That's the first thing that you have to understand. Nobody else can help you without you first wanting to help yourself. That's where we're kind of at right now. So I think that it's possible, I know it's possible for everybody. If everybody says you're an adult, I said, hey, I trust you to go ahead and do the right thing for yourself. You come to class at 1 o'clock, that's cool. That's your choice. You say, hey, I wanna pass this class. I want to be sure that I understand everything. Cool, that's great. I totally that Hey, Casey, I want you to pass this class too. Okay, 100%. All right, I'm not here to be your enemy. All right, despite as many math professors, including myself, to be like we're all evil people, which is kind of half true. But in any case, um, no, I still want you to pass this class. I legitimately do. What benefit do I have to failing you? I have zero benefit to failing you. I really do. All right? Really, I do. Okay, so I don't want to see you guys not succeed. I want you guys, like I said, I want you guys to use this class as a stepping stone into doing what you want to do in the future. Remember, um, the goal for me in this class is very simple. I have a very simple goal in this class. And let me go ahead and just say this. My goal in this class is at the end of the day, if you walk out of this class in December and you know a little bit more than what you walked in with, then I've done my job. It could be a minuscule amount, it could be a lot. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. But if it helps you in the future in some form or capacity, I'm glad that I was there to help you through that. And I'm glad I was there to give you that knowledge in order to make better educated decisions. Because one of the goals that everybody here in this class has, and a lot of times why people take this class or any other classes, heck, in college, is because at some point you want to be independent. You want to get your own job, you want to make your more money, you want to have a good career or whatever you want to do, but you want to be independent. You want to make decisions for yourself. And I too want to make sure that you get to that point as well. I want to be sure that I'm no gatekeeper here, mind you. The only gatekeeper here in this class is yourself. That's it. So I'm willing to help you. I'm willing to reach out my hand and say, hey, you need help, and you reach out your hand to me. I'll be happy to grab that for you, and we'll be working on stuff together. No problem. That's what I'm here to do. And hopefully along the way we have a lot of fun. That's the idea. Math is a really dry subject and it's really boring. It's boring as heck. But at the end of the day, let's have some fun with it as well. But at least understand that that's my goal for pretty much every class. Is that if you get to that point, hey, that's great. I will be more than happy to get you to that point. Independence is very important, I know, to all of you. I know some of you may not like the certain circumstances you're under. Maybe you're living underneath someone's thumb. Okay, fine. If you feel that way, then let's get you out of that situation. Remember, the most dangerous thing in the world is knowledge. The more knowledge that you have, the more you can do. Uh, yeah. Questions about that? I guess. Need a swig of water. Oof. It's really dry in my place. Oof. Gosh. Okay. You found this on the main page. What's happening here? Hey, we're doing a math class, Casey. learn about learn about some logic and reasoning and stuff. Don't worry, there's actually a lot to go off of today. Am I seriously on the main page? Jeez, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, okay, let's talk about academic dishonesty. Academic dishonesty, don't cheat. All right, we'll move on. Um, code of conduct. Oh, okay. I was gonna say your recommended main page. I was like, the main page. I'm like, I shouldn't be on there at all. Like, no, you can stay if you like, Casey. Nothing wrong with you staying. Okay. Let's see. Student code of conduct. There's there. Equal opportunity statement. That's there. Um, again, if you have access and disabilities, if you have an access or disability of any variety, I'm pretty sure I got emails in regards to anybody who has an access or disability. But if you do, please give me an email and just kind of remind me, because the emails there from ADS get lost in the shuffle. So if you have a disability of any variety, please email me and tell me what the accommodations are, and I'll be more than happy to work with you on that. That is not a problemo. All right, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, so I'm really super easy to work with when it comes to accommodations. I'll pretty much give you whatever it says, so shouldn't be that big of a deal. We're veteran friendly, definitely true. I have friends who are veterans, very true. And then there's also some services that you may want to inquire about. Because of the unusual nature of this semester and everything kind of being online, the tutoring center is available on campus, but not in the sense where you go on campus, but I believe there's an online component. You can um, contact online tutors to help you, I believe. So you can contact the tutoring center, kind of give them a email or a call. There should be somebody there, and yeah, they can direct you to the services to get you online tutoring if you so desire. All right, so there's that. All right, questions about the syllabus before we move on? No? Okay. Hey, we're doing really well. All right. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Sure. All right. Is there a certain calculator need for this class? I recommend you can have a basic calculator. That's fine. Like, it's not a problem. It's just a little bit more button presses. It's a little bit more of a pain. Like, if you have a graphing calculator or at least something akin to it, um, then it'll be pretty helpful for this class. But you don't need a graphing calculator. I put that as the recommended one because it just makes some certain calculations and certain problems in the class to be really, really easy. So, but I'll leave it up to you, Neon, about how you want to do that. So it's your prerogative which way you want to go. Any other questions? Nope. All right. Okay. Yeah, just like I said, pretty flexible when it comes to that. No. All right. Good stuff. Okay. let's go ahead and go into my MATLAB stuff. Okay, so kind of held that off for now. All right, so let's go into my MATLAB stuff and talk about that. Okay, so they're on Blackboard here. Let me go to Blackboard. Where are you? Here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna just bring over Blackboard here. Okay, so here is Blackboard. Here's our Blackboard page, and if you go underneath course materials here, you'll see my MATLAB information. Now, let me go ahead and be very clear here. You can click on this if you like on Blackboard, and you will get to this page here. All right, this page right here. I'm just bringing it up from my computer. So what you'll need here is this is kind of like the base instructions here to register for my MATLAB. Now, you will need to pay for the access code. So let's understand. I want to make things clear because I guess for some reason people are a little confused. So what you need to do is you need to purchase an access code, okay, and use the course ID use the course ID you see. Okay, so this on the screen here is in reference to the course ID number. Okay, this is not the access code. You need to purchase the access code separately. Now, for the access code, okay, it depends on but the access code here. So the access code can be purchased online, or if you have financial aid, you can get it from the bookstore. So it just depends on what your situation is. All right. I have a tissue there. Man. Okay, so if you have financial aid, go get it from the bookstore. You'll be fine. Ugh, it's so dry. All right. It's so dry. Okay. So that's my recommendation to you. If you haven't, I know some people have registered already, so that's good. I'm very positive about that. But if you haven't, then that's my suggestion again. You can purchase online. I think it's like $100 or 100 something dollars. It's like 100 and like 104 or something like that. Or they might have a cheaper deal on there for the semester long code or something like that. So you'll see the options there if you go online, or again, financial aid will be have to go through the bookstore, and the bookstore handles the stuff behind the scenes to get you to compensate you and all that stuff. So they do all that junk. All right, all right. Any questions so far about my MATLAB? I'm gonna bring it up here, but just want to be sure you guys understand at least the registration there. One thing to keep in mind, by the way, regarding registration is to make sure that your username, you get one shot at your username. Please make sure you spell it correctly, because if you don't spell it correctly, you'll have to spell it wrong every time you log in, and that's a pain, because then you have to contact customer support and all that jazz. And I will guarantee you that's no fun. Nobody likes that. So any questions about my MATLAB registration stuff? Oops. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Do we get the same materials if we buy the $69.99 for 18-week one? Yes, yes, Fernando, you definitely do. So that's the cheaper option. You get the $70 one. It'll just be for the 18 weeks from now. It'll cover the whole semester, and yes, you will get the same electronic textbook, the same homework, the same everything. Yes. If you try and do temporary registration, it will not save your settings, by the way. It won't save your homework there. So if you try temporary registration, it's up to like 14 or 17 days, one of those two things. and yeah, it won't save your already done homework. So suggestion is to get the full, get the 69.99 package. I think that would be probably better, and then you'll have access to everything at all times. I know some people use the temporary registration until they get their code, so that's fine. Yeah. Any other questions about my math lab there, before I get into a few more details? I'll bring up the my math lab page just to show you what that looks like. So, no, okay, okay. Let's go ahead and take a look here at my math lab and what that actually looks like. So, if you're not familiar with what my math lab looks like, this is what you'll generically see. We'll go to my courses here for example. So you'll get to this page here. Um, you'll get to this page here. You'll sign in, and after you sign in, you'll click on this, which will be Math 101. This is our course, okay? And you'll get to this home page that will pop up here. One thing to keep in mind, by the way, very important here. Um, so make sure you turn off pop-up blockers and ad blockers, okay, for my math lab. Otherwise, stuff may not show up when you try and click on certain links. So that's usually a common problem that I see people having. Also, if you have Chromebook, uh, it might work a little differently, because Chromebook runs off of a different OS than that of just regular Windows. So it's more limited. You might have to enable Flash on that to like kind of unlock the page or something like that. So just letting you know that that was another issue that's been popping up there. So things that I've learned from the early part of the semester here. Now, once you're on this page here, you go to the assignments here, and you can see all the assignments are listed. All right, so all the assignments are currently open. You can work ahead if you want to. I don't mind if you work ahead. All right. Um, Now, just to let you know how assignments work, how homework works on my math lab, I'll click on this. Let's say I click on this first assignment, and I'll click on a random question. Okay, so you could click on any one of these questions here. Now, again, not every single one of these assignments are the same amount of questions. That's why I put each assignment as a 10-point per assignment. So basically, what you put in is what you get out. So essentially, what I'm saying is that if you get 50% of the homework assignment correct, you're going to get 5 points out of 10 for that assignment. If you get 60%, you get 6 points out of 10. I'll give you the exact decimal amount that you put in that you got correct per assignment. So I want to keep it as fair as possible here. All right, you should get what you put in. So that's only fair for everyone. All right, now let's say, this is a pattern of numbers. We'll put 1 here. Now, how it works here for my math lab is you can get the answer wrong here. So it tells you you're wrong, and then it tells you you're wrong. So I could get the problem wrong, say, let's go to 11. All right, so I could get the answer wrong 3 times, okay? And you get 3 chances. So what I give you here is what's called unlimited chances. Unlimited chances just means you could get it wrong, the problem wrong 3 times. But as you can see here, it gives you the correct answer, and then you can hit similar question. And if you hit similar question, it's just pretty much the same question with different numbers. And then you get another 3 chances at that. And if you get that right, you get the full credit for that problem. Okay, so you can work at your own pace here. That's why I put the homework there due the day of the test, so you have a chance to work at your own pace, and you're not like strictly under super harsh deadlines here. So I've decided to do that just to make it a bit easier to kind of get along with, so it's not super overwhelming for you as the semester goes along. Okay, so I know technically it's like, we're doing it in a 3-month time span, but you know what? Let's make it as relaxing as possible, where it's not going to be super overwhelming, where you're not going to hate life forever. Okay, so hating life, it smells. All right, so that's something that we don't like. All right, so uh, that's what I'm going to say about my math lab there. You can find it. And also, as you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and leave this. Also, as you can see here, here's the e-text here. All right, so on the left-hand side, here's the e-text. So you can go ahead and just click on e-text, and it'll say view the e-text. And out will pop up, hopefully. My computer had a little issue this morning about the e-text, but hopefully this will pop up here. Um, and yeah, it just takes a little time. All right, and there we go. We have the textbook here in digital format. So I'll just go to page 10 or whatever, random page. And there you go. So if you want to kind of follow along about what I'm doing here in the textbook, you can bring up the electronic version of the textbook there, and there you go. You got it. All right. So that is the electronic textbook available to you as an added resource. Again, no need to go ahead and pay for it. It does come with the code, as you can see. All right. Any questions about that? Okay. Good beans. Where am I at? Oh, okay. I'm right there. Go here. Okay. All right. So that is in regards to my math lab. If you have any questions, again, feel free to email me regarding questions, or you can also ask questions here. Let me go over here for a second, back to Blackboard. If we go back to Blackboard here, I put up a discussion board here. The discussion board here has, again, introductions. You can put any questions here, so if you prefer to be on a discussion board, I check these discussion boards every day, and I'll get back to you in 24 hours. Otherwise, just email me. Some people just find the email to be more convenient. And then you could talk about anything else you want here. Just keep it clean. Remember, everybody, memes are dreams. So if you want a meme, you can dream. You can put it on this board. You can tell me how much I suck. Whatever. It doesn't matter. So it is what it is. All right. Uh, all right. So we have that. That's there for you. Okay. So those again, this class here is relatively straightforward. It shouldn't take up too much of your time. Uh, Let me go ahead and ask you guys a question here. That's right. Um, Blackboard is Blackboard. Canvas I heard is pretty good. So I like Blackboard is just kind of what I'm stuck with there. So sad face, yes, but well, I gotta deal with it. So be it. All right, so let me ask you guys a question here, really quick. Now I know we meet for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Now, realistically, I don't know if we're gonna ever go the full time, 2 hours and 45 minutes, but it just depends. Like I said, it depends on the material here. Considering it's 2 hours and 45 minutes, even here on stream, I totally understand that at some point you tune yourself out because of the amount of information that kind of comes through my face, so, and the book. So, the question that I have for everybody here is, What would you like to do for the class here? Would you like to take a break in between? Just say, hey, do a section or two and then take a break and then come back doing like a last section? Or do you want me to just continue moving forward until we reach the end of the material that I have planned for the day? So go ahead and type your what you feel in chat there. Okay, so I got 2 for breaks, 1 for continue. I got 2 to 2, 2 for breaks, 2 for continue, 2 to 3. I have a 3 to 3 there. I have 4 to 3 for breaks. I'm being as democratic as possible, so I want to listen to everybody's opinion. I know it depends how long the section is, but your preference here, Fernando. So I got 4 for taking breaks and 3 for continuing. That's what I have here so far. Anybody else? Say breaks. Okay, so that's 5 for breaks and 3 for continue. All right, anyone else? Okay, so I'll stop voting right there. Okay, so the breaks have it here. Again, just being as democratic as possible. I would go with either decision. I'd have to decide if it was an even vote, but yeah, okay, then we'll take breaks here. Basically, the way breaks is going to work then is somewhere in the middle we'll take like a 5-10 minute break or something like that. You guys do your thing, go get a snack or go hit the restroom or whatever, and then we come back in 5-10 minutes, and then we finish off anything else that we need to do. Let's say another section or something like that. So uh, I understand. It's I know some people voted for continue and stuff like that, and I totally understand where you're coming from. Uh, I don't want to try and cram too much information all at the same time. I don't want to overload everybody's brain either. So, um, uh, if the class decides to change its mind, you guys just let me know, okay? But I'm gonna go with the decision here, that the majority decision here that was made. So I'm just gonna run with it. So should you guys decide to change your mind, you let me know, and I'll change it as necessary. Like I said, we're all in this here together. I will be more than happy to listen to what you guys got to say. All right. Okay. That shouldn't be too bad. Okay. All right. That's fine. All right. So let's go ahead and start with maybe just one section here. We'll do one section here. We'll take a small break there because we've done a lot of the stuff on the syllabus and stuff for the past like 45-50 minutes. And then we'll do the beginning part here of chapter 3. That's what's on the agenda here for this week. So we'll see exactly how far we can get here. But by the way, we're only doing one section here. Any sections I don't cover, by the way, will not be reflected on the homework. Okay, you don't have to worry about that part. Okay, so any sections never on the homework, that's fine. Okay, so okay, so let's go ahead and start here with section 1.1. All right, so section 1.1 here deals with inductive and deductive reasoning. All right, let's talk about that. Okay, let's at least bring this up. Where are you? There you are. Oh, my bad. I'll make this a little bit bigger here so it's easier to read. There we go. Is that really quick? Is that easy for you guys to read? Can you guys see that okay? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just want to be sure that do you need to write this down? And it's up to you. If you want to write this down, you can. If you don't, then okay. Okay, great. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about what is inductive and deductive reasoning. Well, first let's talk about inductive reasoning. So exactly what is the base definition of inductive reasoning? Basically, the inductive reasoning is the process at arriving at a general conclusion based on observations, this is the formal definition, of specific examples. All right. Now, the way you could actually appropriate inductive reasoning to layman's terms here, this is what I like to call blanket reasoning. All right. This is what you call blanket reasoning. And this can work in a positive way. This can also work in a negative way. All right. This is basically this blanket reasoning here could be associated with, this could be associated with patterns. All right. So for example here, if you have a predictive pattern that can happen with, let's say, a group of numbers, what's the next number in the sequence, for example, that would be a inductive reasoning. You would see, oh, let's take a look at some specific examples from before, and can I arrive at a general conclusion about the next number in that sequence? That's certainly plausible. Now, I call this blanket reasoning because we often fall into the trap here with blanket reasoning when it comes to making our opinions. Now you're probably saying, well, how do we do that? Well, you see one example, let's say you see one example of something happening with, say, a certain person, and then maybe you just assume that all types of people like that have the same kind of attitude or actions or whatever. That's called blanket reasoning. So you're lumping everybody into one thing, and then you're basically applying that because of a specific example that you saw there from before. So there's kind of like two sides to the coin. One, if we see a definitive pattern, then okay, having that kind of reasoning is fine. But if it's specific, just like anecdotal evidence, or it's just like little specific examples, well, maybe that's not the best way to kind of have some reasoning there at the end of the day. That's kind of one of the things here, because again, there are a lot of, say, in like there are a lot of counter examples that may destroy your reasoning and say, hey, you know what, I think maybe that's not the right way of looking at things. So it just depends on the topic, though. Every topic has its own, everybody has their own opinion, and whatever your opinion is about whatever topic. Again, there's two ways to look at it. There's different types of reasoning, but to make the assumption everything's that one way, based on what one person did or based on what one thing happening may not always be the best kind of reasoning in some circumstances. All right, now for the purposes of what we're doing here, we're dealing with just numbers here, okay? So we're not dealing with like politics or, other things, other topics that could be considered controversial or whatever. Politics and all that stuff, I'm not going to talk about politics in this class, okay? Unless it's mathematically related in some way, it's not really all that important here. What we do want to look at, though, specifically, is we want to see what the next value in the, say, a sequence of numbers is going to be. So let's look here and see. Let's take a look at some examples here about how we can do some inductive reasoning just based on a pattern, okay? Nothing too fancy, okay? Nothing too crazy. So let's put that down here. So let's go with this. Okay, so let's take a look at this. We have the first five numbers here in the sequence, and what would be the next number here in the sequence? What would you think the next number in this sequence would be? Okay, very good. That's right. It would be 28. That's correct. So put that in bold. 28 is correct. Very nice. All right. And what kind of pattern did you see in this case? It's not a hard one, but really quick here. What kind of pattern did you see here in this case? Okay, that's correct, right? You looked at every specific example between each of the numbers. You said, all right, let's see consistency here. So one of the keys here is that we want to note consistency to establish a pattern. Right, exactly. So everybody says, hey, I'm adding 4 each time down. And that's absolutely right, right? So the difference between 8 and 12, right? 8 to 12 is 4. Oh, that should be, sorry. My bad. 8 to 12 is 4. And then we go from 12 to 16, and that's 4. And you get the general idea. We go from 16 to 20, and that's yet again another 4. All right, so we have the general expectation here that if we go 20 and 24, that's 4, and then we should go 4 again. So this is a definitely okay version of inductive reasoning where you say, hey, there's a clear definitive pattern. We have this expectation. This does hold consistently. So this is our expectation here at the end of the day. All right, seems fair. Okay, let's try another one. All right, let's try another example. Okay, that one's not bad. Which one? Okay, go with that. Oh, okay. What do you think would be this number here? $7.29. Okay, very nice. And how do we get $7.29? So I agree, that's the answer for sure. Times 3. That's correct. So another way we could see here is if we did the pattern here in this case. Pattern here is to multiply by 3, right? Each time, that's right, Fernando. Okay, so that's our pattern here. 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27, 27 times 3 is 81, 81 times 3 is 243, and then we multiply by 3 again to get 729. All right, that seems fair. Let's look at another one here. Some of these can be tricky, so well, that's okay. It's gonna happen, or some of them are gonna be a little tricky. Let's try that one. Oh, did it again. All right. What do you think happens here? What's our number that we should put here? Hmm. 13? Anybody else agree? 13? Okay. All right. That's correct. That's right. The answer indeed is 13. That's right. So as you can see here, the ones are a little bit of red herrings. They're just kind of like every other number is 1. But we see here we have 4, and we have 7, and we have 10. So we have 4 and 7 and 10. So again, 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 3 is 10, 10 plus 3, 13. Okay, so we added 3 from the previous 2 terms ago, something like that. Now let's put in one more here, one more here real quick. Okay, what's the answer for this one? What do you think the answer for this one's going to be? Yeah, this one can be a little tough, but if you look at the numbers carefully, remember, we can establish any pattern. So 34. Pei says 34. Yes, I agree. The answer was 34. That is correct. Pei, how did we get 34? What'd you do? How'd we get 34? What was the pattern there? (21 plus 13? Okay, very good, right? So what happened here is you took the previous 2 numbers to get to the next number. So if you see here, we started with 1 and 1, so 1 and then 1, and then we put 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, and so on and so forth, all the way up to that last part there, which we had 13 and 21, which we got 34 as our next number in the sequence. This is a special sequence in mathematics. This is what we call the Fibonacci numbers. So you basically add the previous two numbers to get the next number. All right, so that's the pattern there for that particular example. Okay, very good. Okay, any questions about inductive reasoning, at least for here to start? Hopefully that wasn't too bad. No? Okay. All right. All right. Let's look at the next part here. Let's look at deductive reasoning, as it is. That is the next next part here. So what is deductive reasoning? Basically, again, the process of arriving. Actually, the process of proving. Sorry, a specific conclusion. Nah, mate says specific conclusion from one or more general statements. Okay, so let's say you have something general, and then from those general statements, you can prove something specific based on those, and maybe a little bit more. So that is deductive reasoning here. So maybe you have to go through a bit of a process here in order to arrive at that specific conclusion, but it's certainly plausible that for that to happen here based on what we're given. Okay, so let's take a look here at an example here of deductive reasoning. So, okay, where is it? Yeah, there we go. All right. So I'm gonna bring up an example here in the book, and we'll take a look at that. Okay. Thought I had the book here. All right, I didn't have the book there. Okay, give me a second. Could have sworn I had the book up here, but guess I didn't there. All right. All right, there we go. Okay. Okay, so the example that we're going to do here is going to be on page, let's see, page 12. Okay, so page 12 is where we're going to be looking at. Okay, and we're going to take a look at number 55 here. Okay, so this is number 55, and we're going to see, basically, we have four choices here. Actually, really quick, can you guys see the book here? Really quick, is that, or should I make that bigger? Should I make that bigger, or do I, or can you read that? Yes, make it bigger. Okay. Is that better? Can you guys see that now? You can see? Okay. Hope that made it better. So, all right, great, great. Okay. Okay, so here we have a pattern. Okay, we're given these specific patterns here. We have A2 hashtag A4 equals A10, A3 hashtag A2 equals A7, brilliance, and A5 hashtag A3 equals A11, all right? So we have to determine which one of these four patterns works with these three specific conclusions. Okay, so we have to make sure that whichever one it's going to be, A, B, C, or D, that it has to match it up exactly for all three patterns here. Okay, because if it fails just one, then it's a definite no-go and we can throw away that answer. All right, so how do we go ahead and take a look at this? Well, let's bring out our good friend, the paint tool here. Let's take a look. All right. Let me show you my glorious, terrible handwriting here. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time because what you're about to witness is a culmination of getting kicked out in 6th grade. All right, so let's take a look here at this one here. We'll go AX hashtag AY equals A2XY. All right, A2X plus Y. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one here. It says A2 hashtag A4 equals A10. Well, let's try 2 and 4 here. Okay, let's see if we get 10 to work out. So this is letter A. All right, so this is letter A. We're just testing each one, and one of them is going to fit. So we have 2, and we have A2 hashtag A4. So 2 here is our X value, and 4 here is our Y value. So we're just going to plop those in. We're going to A2 times 2 plus 4. So this is equal to A4 plus 4, which equals A8. So let's take a look here. We needed to get A10, but instead we got A8. So right away, this is a no-go. This is a no reason to keep checking because the first one already failed, so that one's out already. So done and gone. Okay, let's look at the next one here. Let's look at B. So it says AX hashtag AY equals AX plus 2Y. Okay, now we're going to try the first one here, A2 hashtag A4. So here we get A2 plus 2 times 4. So this is A2 plus 8, which is equal to A10. And let's take a look. What do we want? We wanted A10. So that's exactly what we got to work out. First one checks out, no problem. But remember, we have to keep going. So we need to keep going here for this second one. So let's take a look here. A3 hashtag A2 is going to equal A3 plus 2 times 2. So that's A3 plus 4, which equals 7. Do we want A7? Yes, we do. We do want A7, so that works out. All right, well, we got to check the last one too. Remember, you can't make the assumption that they all work. You have to try each one. If it does, great, you're done. If it doesn't, well, too bad, so sad. You'll have to try the next one. So A5 hashtag A3. So we get A5 plus 2 times 3. That equals A5 plus 6, which equals A11. And do we want A11 for that last one? Yes. Okay, so we found out that all three of them worked, so our answer here would be letter B. Okay, so you could try the other two and you'll actually find out that the other two also don't work. So um, pretty quickly you'll find out the C and D don't work. But here we've just proved that all three of them indeed do work here. So that's going to be our final answer for that problem. Any questions about that? No? Okay. All right, hopefully not too terrible there. Pretty, again, this is just like, getting started with the kind of thinking that we're kind of going into. Okay. All right, let's take a look here at some other problems. Okay. All right, let's look at the next one here. Some critical thinking type of problem here. Okay. Okay. I want to look at just like one or just like one of these because it does kind of one or two of these because it does kind of show how we actually think kind of like on an everyday level, and sometimes how we think is may not be the best way to think about certain things. So meaning to say, like let's look at 66 here. It says, I use deductive reasoning to draw conclusions that are not certain but likely. Does that make sense or does that not make sense? What do you think? Does that make sense or does that not make sense? Hmm. Let's just go with like a yes makes sense or no not make sense. What do you guys think? That would be inductive? Hmm. It probably doesn't make sense. Like, so it doesn't make sense? Probably. Okay. Think of it this way. Nah, you're not dumb, my dude. Not at all. Let's think of it this way, right? Not at all. Let's think of it this way. When you think about deductive reasoning is like you're trying to prove something. When you're trying to prove something, even if you're in an argument, you're trying to prove that you're correct, and you want to make a certain fact, all right? You want to make it a fact, all right? So that's the difference, right? What's the difference between, let's say, hard evidence and circumstantial evidence? The difference between hard evidence and circumstantial evidence is hard evidence shows that there is a certainty that that person did the crime. Okay, there is clear evidence to show, yes, this person did such and such crime. Circumstantial evidence says, here's stuff that's kind of, the circumstances kind of led to this conclusion, but it's likely that it happened, but it's not a certainty that it happened. And when you're trying to prove something, it's more along the lines of, I want to be sure, 100% that this actually is fact, as opposed to just a 90, 70, 80, 90% chance that it most likely happened. So when we talk about this here in this particular question, this question here actually doesn't make sense because of the semantics of what proving means. Proving means that yes, this is a definitive conclusion here, at the end of the day. This is a certainty. Whereas normally what we think is we usually think that, oh yeah, that probably happened. Okay, that likely happened, right? So that's the thing, is that you have to understand at least that nuance there, right? We say, a lot of times we always say, hey, everybody always says everyday conversation. Yeah, that probably happened. Yeah, more than likely. You know, but that's not a certainty. That's just like you're just kind of gauging what the likelihood of that certain thing happening is. No problem. That's really important. What I want to do is, if you have an opinion about something, that's great. I don't care if you got an opinion about something. That's fine. You're more than welcome to state that opinion. You know, but to me, that's not proven. All right, a meme can't necessarily prove an entire fact. I can't tell you how many memes I get every day on Facebook or whatever I'm trolling around with, and just like, oh yeah, suddenly because this meme, it's a fact. It's like, yeah, no, that's not how it works. And I don't care. I don't care what the point is. It's like one meme isn't going to show you a fact. It'll show you a coincidence, but in order to prove it for a fact, you're going to need to go more in depth to show that off. So, all right. Are there any questions about that? No. Cool. Great. Let's take a look at this next one here. 68. Actually, yeah. Let's look at 67 actually before we do 68. 67. Additional information may strengthen or weaken the probability of my inductive arguments. Yes or no? Does that make sense? Probability of arguments is more along the lines of inductive reasoning, so you can say likely in that circumstance. So if you had more information that could strengthen or weaken your inductive arguments, does that make sense? Yes or no? Yeah, I would. Fair enough. Uh, yeah, that totally makes sense, right? So let's say you have yeah, it does depend on the premise you work with, right? So, but let's say you heard some information, some specific conclusions. Okay, this incident happened, this incident happened, okay, and this incident happened, and then they all led to the same conclusion. Now, you could have another circumstance happen with the same thing, but maybe it's a different result. That could weaken the argument that having that thing happen led to this conclusion. I mean, that could happen. So you can't make you could either strengthen it if you see a definitive pattern, or maybe it weakens that pattern because the expected result didn't happen. So anything can happen there when it comes to probability of inductive arguments. Do we see the pattern happen? Well, there's a predictive analysis, and then what if it doesn't happen that way? Well, maybe we need to rethink about what conclusions we need to make. And that's perfectly acceptable. That's actually how we form most of our opinions. We form most of our opinions not really through deductive, but through inductive. I liken it to like IMDb ratings or like movie ratings in general. Oh yeah, I should go watch this movie because this guy said, a bunch of guys said it was great. You go on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, it's a, you know, 35% of people say they like this movie. Okay, maybe I shouldn't go see it. Okay, fine. 90% of people said they loved this movie. Okay. Of course, you have to trust the source of the information as well. All right, questions about that? Okay. Well, all right, that's fine. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do here next is let's take a short break because you guys asked. We'll take a short 5-minute break, 5-10 minute break, and then we're going to go right into chapter 3. And I'm just going to do section 3 one. I'm just going to do one section here. So I was thinking maybe two sections, but I was like, no, you know what? I've already put down a lot of information so far. So I'll just take it easy here for this first day. We'll go to chapter 3 here, just the first section there after the break. So let's take a short 5-10 minute break, and then we'll come back. We'll come back here at 2. I will say 2:40, 2:40 ish. We'll come back here at 2:40, and I'm gonna start. Okay, so I'm gonna start up with section 3.1 after that. Okay. Since that's what was voted for. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. All right, 2:40. Come back. We'll start chapter 3. Let's do it. I need to drink some water. So. If you guys got questions for me, you can feel free to ask me over the break. That's not a problem. Yes, Fernando. This was section 1.1. Hey, no problem, Fernando. I'm here to help. I'm here to help. yeah, what is it? What time is that? 8? Damn, it's really late. Alright. Damn it. Dang it. 8 o'clock is so early. I wish it closed at 9. I don't know if we'll get up there. Oh, hello. You saw my Pillars of Creation, my profile picture. You came to say hi. Well, hello. Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate it. You're welcome to be here anytime. I like the Pillars of Creation. That's actually a very beautiful picture. Space is amazing. I think we're a speck in the sand of space. Uh, where are we here? Where is it here? I need this. I need this. And I need short. There we go. Okay. And there we go. How much does he get with that? I don't know. I don't know how much you get with that. Let's check. Let us check the things. Alright. Oh wow, that's actually really good. Is that two? Maybe two? Yeah, actually, that'd be two. That's true. Okay. All right. That'll be fine. Okay. Let me tell you one thing, Rohan. Space is a wonderful thing. It is a wonderful thing. I should probably give my friend a reminder. Let's see here. Go. Perfect. All right. Space, the final frontier. All right. Let's do this. Okay. Back at 2:40 here. All right. So we're back from the break here. we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Rohan, if you want to stick around, man, buddy, I have no problem you sticking around, man. How many light years was the Pillars of Creation? I know light is very massive. It's a super massive amount of light years. So, wish we could travel that many light years at once. You know, warp factor. Wow. All right. So doing section 3.1 time. All right. All right. So what we're going to be doing here in section 3.1 specifically is we're going to be talking about logic. Okay. But we're going to have to set up some kind of thing here with logic in order for us to understand how logic works. You don't want to know something, Rohan? I think that at some point, it may be possible, but maybe not in the way that we think, right? I think that it could be possible, like based on the theory of folding space. So imagine if you could fold space. That would be like really cool. Have you heard that before? Because if you heard of folding space before, like for travel, then that would be really nut. That'd be really nuts that we could do that. That's how we could achieve like light speed or something like that. All right, let's go to page. This is on page. This is 118. Okay. Here, I could demonstrate folding space to you, Rohan. It's really easy. Just take a sheet of paper like this, right? So imagine if this was space like this, okay? So this is space. And it basically, at the end of the day, if you want to understand how folding space works, like the principle is if your spacecraft is here and you somehow are able to kind of warp reality a little bit and you say I want to travel to this space here, well, instead of going from a direct line from here to here, you fold the space around it so that essentially you bring those 2 points together like this, and then essentially you can travel from this space to this space in a matter of seconds. That's what folding space is. That's the theory behind it, is if you're able to manipulate that. So you could just do it with a sheet of paper and it would explain it to you about, on the basic principle about how you could do that. All right, so in this section here, let's go ahead and talk about this section. I just wanted to talk about that real quick. All right, so section 3.1. Let's talk about that. So section 3.1 talks about statements. Yeah, right? Isn't that pretty neat? All right. Neon. Neon's like, bruh, man. Like, really? That's a thing? You're like, yeah, man. That totally is a thing. For real, bruh. It is definitely a thing. All right. I am, my friend. I am. I teach mathematics. Like I said, feel free to stick around if you like. Okay, so we need to talk about statements here, because we're going to talk about all about logic here in this chapter. So what is a statement? Okay, let's talk about the pure definition of a statement. Okay, pure definition of a statement is a sentence that is either true or false, but not both simultaneously. Okay, so in the strict sense of logic, you can't have an ambiguous statement. Okay, that is. Uh, So basically, a statement, any sentence that is not ambiguous in nature, it is either yes, it's true, or no, it's false. You're dead? What did I do? You guys are making it seem like I did something wrong. Come on, guys. I'm multitasking here, okay? A little basic astronomy lesson plus a little math plus yeah, okay. So yeah, me and physics never got along, but if this astronomy stuff, man, that stuff's legit. So I don't know why me and physics never got along, but you know what? If you do, you man, I salute you to physics. I salute you to physics. I know there's a lot of math and physics, but there's a teacher who turned me off to physics. It's not that physics is bad. It's just yeah, that I had a bad experience. So I probably would take that class again if I was back in undergrad. Um, okay, so let's go over what statements are here. All right, so we're going to go over exactly what statements are. I do have to do these examples here regardless. Okay, and we're going to discuss exactly what we can say here. All right, so let's go over some examples here about what a statement is. So I'm going to write off a sentence and say exactly what is a statement and what's not a statement. So, oh, okay, I'm going to write that one down. That one's pretty funny. On January 20th, 2017, Donald Trump became America's first Hispanic president. Okay. Yeah, I know. But you can't let that let you down, my dude. Not at all. If you love what you do, you're never working a day in your life. That's how I look at it. Yes. If you like what you do and I like what I do, you never work a day in your life. All right. So, is this a statement? Yes or no? So, on January 20th, 2017, Donald Trump became America's first Hispanic president. Is that a statement? No. Remember the definition here. It is either yes or no, but says no. Okay. Yes. All right. I got 2 no's and 1 for yes. Yes. 2 and 2 for yes. Wait. Never mind. Yes. 3 yeses, 2 no's. Oh, okay. Yes. The answer is yes. Okay. Again, let's talk about the exception here. The sentence has to be either true or false, but not both. So if I say this statement's clearly false, okay? All right? This statement is clearly false, but it still counts as a statement nonetheless. All right? So the thing is that yeah, so that they have to understand it's clearly either true or false. Either Donald Trump's Hispanic or he's not Hispanic. Okay, one of those two has to be true. So there's a certainty aspect to it. Okay, there's no ambiguity behind it, and clearly he's not Hispanic, but it's a it's false, but it's still a statement, right? It doesn't have to be true. It doesn't have to be. It has to be either all true or it has to be all false, and it can't land in between. So this would be a yes. That's okay. That's okay. We got a few more to go here. All right, let's try this. How about you smell? You smell. I'm just going to point that out here. We're on the internet, so I can't really smell you. If you smell it yourself, I mean that's a thing. But but you you smell. No, no, that's correct. The answer definitely is no. All right, that is purely a opinionated statement. Okay, purely ambiguous. All right, you could be wearing deodorant, and I just could have a bad reaction to said deodorant. Okay, big no. Big no. Noted. Noted, sir. Noted. He likes you're like, nah brah. That's not how it's gonna roll. Not here anyway. Not in my house, sir. Not in my house. That's fair. That's fair to say. All right, let's look at another one. Oh my god. Okay. Um let's see. There is no hot water in the house. There is no hot water in the house. Uh, Sorry, my bad. Make that bigger. Blah. Yeah, I would say so. Yes, I totally agree. That is indeed a statement. Totally 1,000 million percent agree. That is indeed a statement. All right, that isn't too bad. That's pretty straightforward. It do. Fair enough. Okay, so we know what statements look like. Statements basically not so hard on the take. It's pretty simple, very straightforward. You're like, yeah, I agree, and I'd be like, yeah, I agree. Good beans. Okay, so let's talk about a couple more things here. Okay, so we're going to talk next about quantified statements, or not, actually not quantified statements. We'll talk about negations here first. Sorry, we'll talk about negations. All right. So let's talk about negations. All right, what are negations? Well, negations are basically you insert the word not, okay, in the statement in some shape or form. You can say not in many different ways, so that's why I'm just not going to say, oh, it's just the word not. That's the simplistic way, but there's a lot of ways to express not a lot. So, okay, so when we talk about negations, we could talk about let's look at a statement here. So we're going to assume that what I'm going to put down here is a statement, and then we're just going to run with it and see what we're working with. So let's say today is not Monday. All right. How can we write the negation to today is not Monday? Oops. Come on back. How could we write the negation of today is not Monday? What would be the opposite? Yeah, the truth tables and logic stuff will come in. Trust me on that. I ain't denying that. What do you guys think? Today is Monday. It's true. It's true. Today is Monday. That is correct. Very good. All right. Today is Monday. Easy. Wait. You're very mad at me right now? Wait, what happened, Samantha? Wait, 1.8? Wait, what about 1.8? 1.8 homework. Oh, was there a 1.8 homework assignment on my math lab? Or did you just not like 1.8? I'm like, there should be a 1.9 assignment on my math lab. If you need help, then you can ask after class, okay? I'll help you, alright? I don't have a problem with that. Okay, but tell you what, Samantha, I'll help you after my class is done here, okay? So if you want to come back, I'm going to help you out, okay? And give me like 30, 45 minutes. Yeah, for her, she has a different class, though. So she has a different class with me, Fernando. Go. That's fine. All right. I'm fine with that. Woo! All right. Made that happen. All right. Good beans. Okay. Close this. Why is this so many windows? All right. Yeah, no problem. All right. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Had to do a couple things there. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's do the next one here. All right. The TV show came on at 9 p.m. All right, let's try that one. How do you negate that one? How do we negate that one? The TV show came on at 9 a.m. TV show did not come on at 9 p.m. Good. Okay, very good. That's correct. Simple, simple. All right, now I want to see if, right, okay, good. Got to do that next. Okay, now we can show off negations, add nots, yes. Okay, now we can show off negations here, but one of the things that we're going to be talking about here in this section is how we can symbolize statements. So we're going to talk about symbolic statements here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to associate a letter with each of the statements here. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And let's describe how we're going to now integrate statements with letters and then also notation here for not. Okay, so for example here, let's go ahead and grab a couple statements here from the book. So yeah, let's do that one. All right. Okay, so we'll use this first one here. So we could have P here be the statement is the house is hot. Or I should say the heat. Actually, hang on. The heater is not is working. Okay, so we'll go with the heater is working here. We'll call that P. We'll say a statement Q. Okay, so you could have a statement Q here. Statement Q here could be the it is sunny today. Okay, so it is sunny today. All right. We could have R here. R here could be my major is business. Okay. So these are three clear statements here that we can make. Okay. Now, one of the things that we talked about with negations is like, okay, well, how do I represent these statements here if I were to add in negations, with these letters? Let's talk about how negations factor into these symbolic statements. And we're going to see a lot of these in this chapter, so that's why I'm kind of stressing this now. Okay, first of all, the notation. Notation here is going to be fairly simple for not. So we're going to use the tilde. All right, so the tilde here is going to be the representative of not. Okay, so basically if I said tilde P, okay, that would represent not P, or again the representation of adding not and then that statement. So essentially it says the heater is not working. Okay, so the heater is not working. All right, so that's how we can, if you see that notation here, tilde P, then that's fine. So if I said tilde Q, all right, if I said tilde Q, how would you say that? Yep. Okay. It is not sunny today, right? So it is not sunny today. Now you're probably wondering why am I kind of stressing this, even though this is easy, right? The reason why is because we're going to be able to combine these sentences together, these statements, okay, and we're going to put it into one big logical statement. So at least having some of the basics down is going to keep this fairly straightforward. All right. So I just want to kind of point out exactly what we're working with here. Okay. Now, what we have lastly in this section and is going to be quantified statements. Okay, so let's talk about quantified statements. Now, what are quantified statements in relation to what we just talked about? quantified statements are basically statements that we kind of use all the time here in just regular speak, right? When we talk about some certain general statements that we tend to use. What are some of these quantified statements? So an example of a quantified statement here would be all A are B. Okay, so all A are B. So a good statement says all aliens are green. Okay, so you could go with that. All aliens are green. And then that'd be cool, all right? You could go with, whatever the A and B are, you can pretty much put anything in there, so long as it makes a statement. We have some A are B. So some aliens are green. Okay, so some aliens are green. Okay, seems fair. And we also have no A R B. Okay, so no aliens are green. Okay, so no aliens are green. And then we have some A are not B. So some aliens are not green. Okay, so that's another statement that we can make here. Now, in the book, to be fair, talk about the book. All right, I'm going to bring back the book here. On page, where is it here? Okay, 121. They have a little list here. Now, they also have two other ways that you can write it out, like there are no A that are not B, okay, things like that. So there are alternative ways to write those if you want. Okay, so there are those. There are what the book has is different ways, but what I'd like to present to you is like just more of the basic standards, so it's easier to follow along. All right. In any case, besides that point, let's talk about these are the regular quantified statements. Now, let's talk about their respective negations. Okay, so let's make a column here for negations. So we want to talk about the negations of all A or B. So if I say all aliens are green, okay, what would be the negation of that? What would be the negation of all aliens are green, for example? All aliens are not green, okay? All aliens are not green, all right? Anyone else? Go ahead and fill in the blank here. All aliens not green. Anyone else? What if I were to tell you that all aliens are not green is not correct? Now, in regular standard, you'd be like, yeah, you know what? In regular, just kind of speaking stuff out, you're like, I'd be sad. A sad face. All right. Actually, it's true. All aliens are not green is not actually the way we take the opposite here. We actually have to look at it from a different perspective here to actually look at it from the logical point of view. Yeah, I know, right? It's true. Think of it this way. All right, I'm crying. I'm sorry. I'll get out my mason jar full of student tears I've collected the past 10 years. um, so what I Well, I guess I'm trying to say is think of it this way, right? Let's think of that statement, okay? um, think of the mason jar. Think of that all aliens are not all. Is that so? All aliens are not thick. I see how it is. Uh, Neon's like insert anime video here. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. Oh man, it's too funny. All right. All right, you guys. I've got to somehow get through this without laughing too much. All right, let's think of it this way. Let's assume that all aliens are green. All right, and we want to take the opposite of that. All right, if I have one alien that's not green, let's say is yellow, then are all aliens green? So every alien's green except for one. So can I make the statement? I can still make the statement. Oh, okay. I see how trolling works in your lands. Uh, yes, just kidding. No, okay, fair enough. um, all right. So the answer is no. Okay, because that one alien that exists as yellow, it means that not all the aliens are green. Okay, so another way to kind of express that here as a negation is going to be some A are not B. Some aliens are not green. So it's not like an all or nothing proposition. In fact, it's actually some are not, as opposed to none are. Like we usually think of all or nothing, but that's if it's like straight down the middle. But since we're talking about possibilities where one is not, okay, that also negates that statement overall. None is just like an extreme version, but some's also realistic. Okay, how about some aliens are green? Let's take the negation of that. Some aliens are green. What's the negation of that? What do you think that the negation of that is going to be? So let's say, some aliens are green, some are yellow. All right. What would be the negation of that? Sure, sure. Some aliens are not green. Not quite. So it says, let's say some aliens are green. Okay, that's our premise here. So I'll type that out. Okay, so we'll go with that. Say some aliens are green. Okay. What is the negation? All right. Some aliens are yellow. That's actually a really good statement there, Jamie. Actually, yeah, I can see that. I know it's like maybe you're joking or not, but still, that's actually a really good statement. The reason there is a reason behind that. There is a reason behind that. I'm not. I got my Dyson vacuum, okay, to wash away all the tears and suck them all up. Okay, you should be perfectly dry now. Okay. uh, so if you say some aliens are yellow, that means that none of the other aliens are green, right? None of the aliens are green. Some aliens are chrome. I mean, if you're talking about that SpongeBob episode where they turned everything chrome underneath the sea, yes, maybe true. Some aliens are not green, not quite. Not quite. Some aliens are not green, that's true. Some aliens are green, and some aliens are not. That's actually inherent in some are A, some A are B. But in fact, the negation is no aliens are green. So the negation here is actually no aliens are green. Because I say, oh, well, some of them are green. But now what's the opposite of that? Oh, now none of them are. Okay, so I can't claim that some of them are again. None of them are now. They could all be yellow, as was stated earlier. That's why I say, some aliens are yellow. If you said all of them are yellow, well, now none of them are yellow. None of them are green. That's fair, right? That's how the logic works, right? We always look at it like we have to kind of get away in logic. You have to kind of get away from the all or nothing premise, even though the statements are either true or false. It's true, but if we're talking about just like a group of things, yeah, it's kind of like a slightly different perspective than what we're normally used to, kind of like in our everyday thinking, which I totally agree is very confusing. So if I have this, right, let's take this for example here. We say no A or B, then the negation of that is exactly, you could go backwards here. So we could say, again, some aliens are green. I know. I know, Neon. I know. This is all A or B. If you want negation of that. I know this takes getting used to. This chapter here has a lot in it, and I want to go slow over this so that way it's understandable. I know this is like our first day and stuff, so I don't want it to be overwhelming, but I got to be realistic at the same time. I want to make sure that I make this process as easy as possible for you, though. Okay? Trust me, I'm not your enemy here, but I do have to explain things through. What was the statements for yeah, let me say this. What was the statement for aliens in the no A or B? So no aliens are, let's say like no aliens are green. So then the opposite would be some aliens are green. Because then you say, well, there's like no aliens that are green. Now there's at least one that is green. So they could say some aliens are green. So that's kind of like that little difference there in that case. Yeah, no problem. I'm here to help. Any other questions before I move forward? So I put this down in this little chart here because it makes it a little bit easier to understand. No? Okay. Let's take a look here. There's another one I want to do. Okay, that one makes no sense. I think All right, let me take a look here, see if there's any other examples I want to do. Those really highlight pretty much the majority of that last part of the section, so go here. Yeah, that's just another way of just saying that. Okay, so those are pretty straight. This chapter long. There's 7 sections in this chapter, so it also depends on what you think long is. So some of the material is pretty quick and fast. Some of it will take a little time to go over, but should take us like 2 or 3 more classes to go over. I do want to like to be perfectly honest with you, Sam. I do want to go slow because of how I know this chapter usually works out. So usually it's not super friendly because of a lot of moving parts. So I want to be sure that you guys understand where we're going with a lot of the things that we're doing. So okay. All right, let's take a look here at oh, yes. All right, our culture celebrates romantic love, affection, and passion for another as the basis for marriage. However, the bar graph illustrates in some countries romantic love plays a less important role in marriage. True. All right, and these exercises used to determine whether the statement is true or false. Okay, so we're going to see if it's true or false just based on what we see here. A majority of college students in Pakistan are willing to marry without romantic love. Is that true or false based on the chart? That's true. Yes. If you want to know why, it's because, well, my heritage is from Pakistan, so it's because they do arranged marriages, so that's why. That's why it's so high compared to the other countries on the list. Let's look at 61. I'm going to skip around a bit. No college students in the U.S. are willing to marry without romantic love. True or false? False. Okay. True? Say true. Say true. True. No college students. Okay. False. Okay. Got a couple of falses and a couple of trues. I got 3 for false and 2 for true. Okay, so the answer to number 61 here is actually false. Okay, this is actually a false statement here. Let's note the difference here in this case. The US, according to the chart, is 4%. Okay, that's what it says according to the chart. However, understand what no means. No means 0%. All right, so I can't make a claim. We could say it's very low. Okay, yeah, very few college students want to marry without romantic love. Yes, fine. But that doesn't mean 0% either. Okay? So we could say almost nobody wants to marry without romantic love. Fair enough. Okay? We can say that almost or close to, But if we have to say, we can't say no means 0, but 4% means, yeah, there is at least one person out there who said, yeah, I'm cool with that. So that's why that statement is false. You gonna stay neutral? Fair enough. Right. This is the nuance behind how the logic works, right? That's the nuance. And that's kind of like the very important part that we want to look at here is that no means actually 0, but then some means somewhere between like 0.01% and 99.99%. And then all is going to be 100%. There's those little it's that is semantics, but again, semantics mean a lot here in logic because it's very rigid. So, okay, any questions about that? No? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop here for today, okay? And we're going to resume here on section 3.2, okay, for Wednesday, okay? And again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. We're going to come back here, same time, same place, next Wednesday to cover more about logic. We're going to get a little bit more in depth. So, like I said, we're going to go slow over this chapter here because there's a lot going on. So, rest assured, you'll have plenty of time to ask me questions and go over things that you may have a little bit of trouble with. In the meantime, you can go ahead and start the homework if you please. It's totally up to you. Um, like I said, you could take it at the pace that you're working with. But yeah, where's located on the web? On Blackboard. So on Blackboard, you can find out the course information there. And of course, to go along with the course information, this Wednesday, every Monday and Wednesday, my dude, this Wednesday, 2 days from now, my friend, 2 days from now, the 23rd of September. Okay, so you can find information here on the syllabus here. I could also recommend one thing for you user is to rewatch the stream. Okay, after I'm done here today, so I'm gonna log off the stream so it saves the replay. All right, and so you can rewatch the stream there for any other details that you missed. Also, you can, um, bro, yeah, so 24 hours from now, I'm going to be posting this on YouTube, but on Twitch, it stays on for 14 hours. And 131, bro, why do you like math? It's not used for anything. Bro, give me your wallet and I'll take all your credit cards and money. All right? If you're willing to give me your wallet, if you're willing to give me your money, no problem, man. I'll take your numbers off of your hands. You don't need math. Money's not math. Psh, bro, what line of reality you living in? No, bro. Money is totally math. Numbers is English? You wish. You wish and not happening. That's on the corner of somebody trolled you and you getting played. Money is all about math, dude. Holy smokes. All right, for those of you in my class, like I said, I'll see you Wednesday. Samantha, you're here for questions? Yes. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Have yourself a great day, everybody. Whoever's leaving for the day. So. sign out of this. Bam. Numbers is English. It's hilarious. All right. Oh, shoot. That was the wrong one. Ah, no, bye. Darn it. Arrgh. All right. All right, here we go. All right, Samantha, you still there? Okay. All right, let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to go to 090. Okay, so we're going to go to section 1.8 so we can help you out with that. Let's do it. Let's do it together, okay? All right. So, which question on 1.8 are you stuck at? So I can just pull up the question here because I know there's 25 questions up here. So just let me know which question you want me to do specifically, and we'll just start with that and we'll work our way up. Okay. You got it. Okay. Okay, so let's look at this question here. It says 3 times 3 to the third plus 0 divided by 3. Okay, so let's use our order of operations here, Samantha. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I'll put this in the little paint tool duder. All right, so what we have to do first is we have to do exponents first. Remember, we're going to go with PEMDAS, right? So parentheses, exponents, then of course multiplication, division, again being on the same rank, addition, subtraction here, again also on the same rank right below. So the first thing we're going to do here is 3 to the third power. That's the first thing we want to do. Okay? So 3 to the third power here is re-represented as 3 times 3 times 3, right? We're multiplying 3 by itself 3 times. So 3 times 3 times 3. Okay. And so just go in order here. Just go in order, okay? So we're going to take 3 times 3. All right, Samantha, what is 3 times 3 here? Oh, careful, Samantha. 3 times 3, not 3 plus 3. Don't fall for that trap, Samantha. 3 times 3 is not 6. Nine. That's correct. So this is 9. Now we're going to take 9 times 3. Okay? So what's 9 times 3 there, Samantha? Okay, perfect. 27. So the first thing that we got done here is we got this 3 to the third power here in the problem done. Okay, that's the first thing that we have to get finished. So right now what it stands is we have 3 times 27 plus 0 over 3. Okay, this is what we have so far. Okay, this is all we've done is change that 3 to the third to 27. Okay, next comes multiplication division. Okay, so multiplication, we're going to multiply these two together, and this out here is going to be division. All right, so this is division out here. So let's just go left to right. We're going to leave that plus sign in the middle because that's going to come last. All right, so let's do this next one here. 27 times 3. All right, Samantha, what is 27 times 3 or 3 times 27? Both are the same, so. Okay, what is 27 times 3 or 3 times 27? Not quite. Good try though. Let's take a look. We'll take 27 times 3 here. Says the man that numbers are useless. Ha! Alright, anyway. Let's take this one step at a time, okay? What's 7 times 3? 7 times 3 is what, Samantha? Alright, one more time. Take a look at your times tables there, Samantha. Oi, I will not tolerate bullying. I'm going to ban you if you want to. I can go down this path. Alright, 21. Good. Alright, 21 is correct. Okay, very nice. So here, if we get 21, 7 times 3, we're going to carry the 2 here. So we're going to have 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. And then we're going to add the 2 up here. So in fact, we're going to get 81 here. Okay, 81. Right, exactly. So we get 81 here. So 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2 is 81. All right. So in this first part here, we have 81. Then we have this other half here, which is 0 divided by 3. Okay? So 0 divided by 3, again, we take 0 divided by any number that's not 0. That is going to be 0. Okay? So this is just using that property that we talked about when it came to taking 0 divided by any number that's not 0. So we have 0 here. So in effect, we take 81 plus 0 at the end of the day to get 81. And that's how we arrive at this final answer for this particular problem anyway. Are there any questions about that, Samantha? Ah, gotcha. That was the issue there. Was it the 3 to the third? Well, it was. I'm just answering questions now. I'll have another class in about an hour and 20 minutes, so. Yeah, so it was a 3 to the third. All right, let me do this for you, Samantha. Hang on just a second. Okay. Hang on just a second. So I'm going to ask you this question here, okay? I want to see if you can get this, okay? Let's have you give this a try. So let's say I had 4 to the third power. So I'll bump it up by one number. Okay, let's just go in order here, just some logical ordering, okay? So first of all, how would I write out 4 to the third power? How should I write that out as? Okay, perfect. That's right. Okay, so 4 times 4 times 4. So we can all agree that that's true. Okay, let's go in order here, okay? So let's do the first two, okay? What is 4 times 4? Perfect, okay, 16. Now, we're going to take that 16 and multiply it by that last 4. What do we get there? I think I know what you're looking at here with that answer. So you're saying this 6 times 4 is 24. Is that what you're saying here when you're doing it out like this? Let me just separate this out. Boop. Are you saying like this is 24 down here? Okay, okay. I kind of thought that, but I just want to be crystal clear here. Okay, so I'm going to put the 4 there, right? What are we going to do with the 2? Okay, by the 1, agreed. All right, so what number should I have here next to the 4 on the bottom? What should I have there then? No, I shouldn't have a 3. No, 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 no. Not a 3. You got to do this multiplication. You have to do this first. This has to come first before you add the 2. So you have to do 4 times 1 and then plus the 2 after that. Okay, good. That's 6. Right. So your answer is 64. Look what I did for like the last one as well. The last one here was going to be this. I did 3 times 2 first to get 6, and then I added the 2 to that to get the 8 on the bottom here. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing that I did there. So the answer here is 64. Okay, so you need to be careful about that part there, so you're not getting tripped up on the multiplication part. Should we try another? Okay, let's try another. You want a problem like this, or do you want a problem with exponents? That's okay. You get 2 tries on the test, okay? You try the practice test as well so you can get more comfortable with it, all right? All right, with exponents, all right. Let me, what do I want to do here? No, I can't do that. Okay. Okay. That's nice. All right. All right, there. I'm just doing a similar question here. All right. Let's try this one. All right. And we'll work with that. So let's write this one out. So 6 times 7 squared plus 0 over 2. Okay. So let's go in order here. What should I do first in this problem, Samantha? The 7 times 7. Perfect. Very nice. That is correct. So let's do the 7 squared first. So 7 times 7. Good. And what is 7 times 7? Okay, good. That's right. 49 is correct. All right, so that's not too bad. So we now have, let's write down what we got. So we got 6 times 49, and then the plus 0 divided by 2, because we haven't done anything with that yet. Okay. All right, so what do we do next? Okay, let's do the 49 times 6. So let's break this down very carefully. Okay. Okay, first and foremost, let's do 9 times 6, okay? Let's do 9 times 6. What is 9 times 6? Okay, good. That's right, 54. So we're going to put the 4 down here, okay? And we're going to put the 5 up here. Now, what should I do next? What numbers should I put down here next? Okay, 6 times 4, which is? So we're doing this 6 times 4 here. We'll circle that. Whoop. 24. Okay, what do we do with the 24? All right, so far so good, Samantha. Add 5. So what do we get overall? I agree with that. $29. Good. Very good. That's right. Okay, so we're going to put 29 down here. So our answer for between the 49 and the 6 is going to be 294. Perfect. Okay, and what is 0 divided by 2? What's that going to be? 0. Good. So here at the end of the day, we have 294 plus 0, and that's going to equal 294 since 0 effectively does nothing. So that's going to be our final answer for that problem. Any questions about that? And I guess 2 questions. Any questions about this example? And would you like to try another example? No? Okay. Do you want to try another example there, Samantha? Or do you think you're okay? You're good? Okay. That's fine. Are you mad at me still? Or no? I hope not. Sure, go for it. No. That's okay. Oh, I wasn't insulted by it. I thought he's just like, it's just out of frustration when you've spent such a long time on a problem and you can't get it. It's not your fault. Everybody gets frustrated when it comes to math, so don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I didn't take it. Trust me, I won't take it badly. I know the frustration. The frustration's real. So For a person who doesn't like numbers, well, yeah, I guess so. What was your question there, Samantha? You said you had one more question. Depends what context you're working in. Let's see. How do we do improper fractions into mixed numbers? Okay, let's go ahead and do an example of that. I don't know if that was this section, but okay, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. We'll just do an examples. That. Tell you what, N. I'm smart. Oh yeah, it was 2.1. You're right. You're right. Sorry about that. Trust me, I'm smart, N. I am. I really am. I mean, I've made good money due to my smartness, so I can't really argue with that. Nope. Nope. Hang on, I'm looking for the problem there. I know one of them is the problem. Are you sure that was 2.1? Maybe it was 2.2. Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, this just looks like the basics that I went over that one time. Now let's look at 2.2. 14? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Gotcha. All right. All right. So let's take a look here at an example for this. Okay, so it says 12 over 11. All right. So if I do 12 over 11 here, all you're really doing here is just you're taking 12 divided by 11. Okay. So what you have is if you just do kind of regular division here. Okay. Let's go over this here. So let's say we just do in regular division, Samantha. So how many times does 11 go into 12? No, definitely more than 0. 11 definitely goes into 12. This I guarantee. The maximum number of times 11 goes into 12. Okay. Now we're confused on the fact that you're not sure about how many times a number goes into another number. Okay. So let's think of it this way. Okay. If I took like if I have a 12, let's say I had a yeah, that's fine. So let's say I had a basket, right? All right, let's take it this way. Let's say I have 12, I don't know, we'll call it oranges or whatever. Yeah, we'll call it 12 oranges. Say I had 12 oranges. And let's say I have this circle here. This circle would be a basket, okay? Just one basket. Let's say one basket somehow hold 11 oranges. Okay. So the real question is how many baskets can I fill? All right. Okay, so that's the key thing. So this is kind of like how I like to think about it. How many baskets can I fill? So I'm given 12 oranges, and I have a basket that can hold 11 of them max. Okay, so I basically, if I'm just a regular layman, I'm just throwing as many oranges as I possibly can without any oranges falling over. So I put, I have 12 oranges, so I could put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that's the maximum number I can put in, right? That would represent one basket. Is that correct? Would you agree with me there, Samantha? Okay. Can I make a second basket with 11 oranges or no? No. Okay, so the maximum number of baskets that we can make is going to be 1. So that's what I'm going to put up here. The number of times 11 goes into 12 is 1. Because again, if we use our analogy here, we can only make one full basket at the end of the day. Now, what we have to see is what we have left over, because of course, we have to be sure that how many of these baskets can we make. Well, let's kind of go down the line here. So we say, well, 11 times 1 is 11. I put 11 oranges in this basket, so that means that left over I have 1 orange left over. I can't put that last orange in the basket. So my answer here is going to be 1, remainder 1. Are there any questions about that, about how we found that? Okay, so now that makes a little bit more sense, right? Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to put these numbers in specific places, okay? Now you see here, why should you say that? Don't say that, that's bad. No. Now, this is the basic stuff, but it's still important to know those fundamentals, okay? Don't tell yourself that you're dumb, okay? It just means you gotta work a little harder just to understand the concept, but don't worry about it, okay? Everybody works at their own pace, alright? So don't start comparing yourself to others, alright? I'm happy that by the fact that you want to work so hard to get better. I'm very happy about that. That makes me happier than say, your understanding level. That's you're making an effort. So I mean, how am I going to feel bad about that? I wouldn't. It may take you a little more time, but okay. It is what it is. But it's not like you're not dumb, not at all. I agree. I would like you to get a better grade. Absolutely, 100%. But you're working your butt off to get there. You're not going to get returns right away necessarily. Do understand that. You're not going to get returns right away, but it's a slow roll, slow progress. But at least it's positive progress in the right direction, right? Isn't that what's most important? Yeah. So you're putting forth your best effort and you're trying your butt off. I know you are. We've talked a lot, so it's just like I know how much effort you want to put into it. I know how much, I know how sometimes you struggle and stuff like that. I know. But, like I said, everybody has their own thing. And I'm here to help as many people as I can. You come out here to help. I told you the first day. You wanted help. You reached out for help. I would be glad to grab that hand and be able to help you anytime. Okay? So don't feel that way, please. Okay. Let's see about what we're going to do here. So here we got 1. This one here that we got is going to be our whole number here, our big number. This one here, our remainder, is going to be our numerator of our fraction. And the 11 that we divided by here is going to be our denominator. So 1 and 1/11 is going to be our answer for this problem. So we now convert it to a mixed number. We're going to try another one, of course, but wanted to show off that final result there. That's fine. We're going to try. Oh, okay. Ah, gotcha. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at another example, okay? I'm going to do another example here. This one's a little easier, but let's do another example. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's try this one. 32 over 7, okay? 32 over 7. All right, so in a sense, 32 over 7 is like 32 divided by 7, okay? Same deal. So we're going to put 7 on the outside, 32 on the inside. All right? Okay, so let's take a look here. Now, one thing for sure is that 7 does not go into 3, all right? 7 definitely does not go into 3. It can't fit that way. So let's look at 32. How many times does 7 go into 32? How many times does 7 go into 32, Samantha? Still there, Samantha? Oh, oh, okay, okay. Holy smokes. Okay. Be careful not to put your laptop on your blanket. Make sure to have it on an elevated surface so it has room to blow the heat out. Okay, so how many times does 7 go into 32? What do you think there, Samantha? That's very close. Let's take a look. We can write out the multiples of 7. So we have 7, we have 14, we have 21, and then we have 28, we have 35, and so on. Notice 35 is too big for 32, but 28 is right below it. So 35 is too big, but 28 is going to be our winner here. So we see we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So if this helps, this can tell you, if you write out the multiples of what you're dividing by, that can also tell you how many times it'll go into that particular number. In this case, it happens to be 4 times. So if you're like not sure because you feel like you're guessing all the time, another good way is just to physically write out the multiples of the number you're dividing by here, in this case 7. When it's larger numbers, that tends to be a bigger problem because, of course, larger numbers are a bigger pain. But yeah, for smaller numbers like 7 and stuff, this makes it a little bit easier. You can also look on your multiplication chart, and you can find this as well. Does that make sense? Okay. So here we're having 7 times 4, which is 28. Now we're gonna. Okay. Anything to help. Okay. That's if it's like saying, hey, I need to see it visually. Hey, write it out visually. That's fine. That's what the times table is there for. Again, if you need to write it out, write it out. And try just different techniques to get you to where you need to be. So here we go. 7 times 4 is 28. If we subtract 32 and 28, we get 4. And that's going to be our remainder. Okay, so 4, that's right. So can you tell me what would be our final answer? What would be our mixed number here based on what you see? Very good, that's correct. Took this 4, that became our big number. This 4 here became our numerator. And this 7 is our denominator. Okay, good. Nice job. Spot on. Any questions about that? I hope it helped. Unless you'd like to do one more example. Okay, great. Just you know, promise me you won't hate me anymore. I'll cry tears. Tears of pain. Fair enough. All right. Any more questions, Samantha? Okay. You can come on back anytime. When I'm not doing a class or during our next class tomorrow. You feel free to ask questions. Okay. You know where to find me, or email me too. So whatever the case may be. You're welcome. Okay. All right. Good luck on your test. Okay. And work through those problems. All right. All right. I'll see you tomorrow then. Okay. You have yourself a wonderful day. All right. Okay. I'll see you later, Samantha. All right. Okay. All right. Bye.